This is a classic case of I told you so. You see, Brexit has cost the UK food companies exporting to the European Union an additional £170 million. Well, I think it's time for you to strap yourselves in, because here comes the storm, brewed in a teacup. But guess what? This tempest has got some meat in it, literally. Since the UK, you know, when a whole load of numpties put that cross in the wrong box. But they did. You know who you are. Well, they said goodbye to the EU's single market with the grace of a drunken uncle at a wedding. Now, British food exporters have been slapped with a whopping £170 million in extra costs. Well, we have to ask ourselves, why is that? Well, it's because of Brexit. And now every slab of meat, every fish fillet, every cheese wheel now needs the vet's golden signature to be signed off before it can cross the channel. And not just any old scribble. No. Yeah, a scribble that costs £200 a pop. And you don't get it in a fancy frame either. No. That's Brexit for you. The gift that keeps on taking. Death by a thousand cuts, if you like. On a more positive note, we're doing a rewilding here in France where you can actually have a tree. Yes, we will plant a tree on your behalf. And I'll make a sign with a tree with name on it, maybe in memory of a loved one. Links are down below. But you see, just in the past year, over 58 million has been forked out by exporters desperate to get their goods into the EU. And what's the cherry on this bureaucratic cake? Well, a 17% plummet in meat exports. Now, this is since the whole debacle started. Yes, you know, pushed on us by the Brexiters. And also those who are whinging about the Brexit, including some of the fishermen, including some of the farmers. Not all of them, but the majority. We have to be honest about this. But you see, since the UK took its ball and, like a spoilt brat, that is. And well, actually, no, I'd say England, because that's not fair. We keep saying the UK, don't we? It's not the UK. Scotland didn't vote for Brexit. All in Northern Ireland, it's us English. Crikey. And the Welsh will say, no, we didn't vote for Brexit. It's all those immigrants, English immigrants, residing in Wales, as they say. That does make me laugh, the last one, that is. Well, we're imposing on ourselves all this red tape. There's like some kind of Soviet bureaucratic blush. Smaller producers have been hit the hardest. And I've got a little recording for you. You know, just bring you back into the current century. But that'll be in a moment. You see, they're now navigating a minefield of all these export health certificates, EHCs, like it's some kind of twisted game of Monopoly, and almost as long. Except here, there's no pass and go, and there certainly is not any collecting. £200. Actually, in fact, if you don't get your paperwork correct and the right colouring, you probably go to jail. You know how it is. So let's add insult to injury, shall we? To simply absorb these new costs. Food exporters, who usually skate by the margins, thinner than a slice of Parma ham, and that's if you can actually get your Parma ham. That's trouble. Anyway, well, they need to rake in an additional £8.5 billion in sales. £8.5 billion extra in sales. And that's in an environment where it's much harder now to export. It's not rocket science, is it? No. I mean, who knew? Exporting Stilton could feel like, financing the space program, maybe. Well, now let's talk about the paperwork. And there's somebody I'll be highlighting in this just in a moment. So keep watching. Because who doesn't love a little bit of admin? It's fun, isn't it? We all love paperwork. That's why we moved to France, you see. A bureaucratic nightmare, that is, yeah. The companies have been hiring small armies just to handle the new levels of bureaucracy. Imagine hiring 30 more staff, not from making or selling anything, but just by pushing paper so your cheese can legally leave the country. It's not just the annual health certificates. You've now got to go through 16 stages of the ORI system. And you need a representative in the country you are sending it to. Well, it's a complete and utter mess. Now, it's like hosting a party where half your guests are there to make sure the other half washes their hands. Necessary, but just a buzzkill. Now, let's talk about an individual. Lockfin languistins. I've done videos about them before. It seems a little bit ironic that they're complaining post-Brexit, when I know that the proprietor voted for Brexit. Kraken or whatever his name is. Anyway, the guy from Lockfin languistins. Oh my giddy aunt. Now, he said, post-Brexit, we stopped exporting to the European Union in April 2021 due to the Brexit-associated costs. He voted for this, remember? He had the thing written on the side of a Luton back van, I think it was. Vote leave. He said, our main market that we started the business in 2012, selling to, now lost 60% of its turnover. He says, words fail me, and people just don't get it. Well, we don't get it because you vote for it. This was just so obvious. Now, I've said this before, and it frustrates the hell out of me. As someone who's been in business myself, you have to know your market. Where does your product go? How do you sell your product? Why would you cut off why would you cut off your customer? Why would you snub your customer? That makes no sense. It's just madness. Complete and utter madness. Oh dear. There's all the paperwork that he has to deal with now. But he stopped exporting to the EU because of the additional £500 in extra costs. And if you get one piece of paperwork wrong, 38 pages, in the wrong coloured ink or something, maybe you put the cross in the wrong box, oh, maybe so. Yes, well then your short shelf life, shellfish, short shelf, I said that quickly, that's tongue tie. Short shelf life, shellfish, short shelf life shellfish. Oh, blimey. Maybe you can practice for me. Anyway, he said it's crippling his business. In fact, they stopped exporting because of this. But he made a vocal plea to the government, and well, this is how it went. Now, he had a bit of a whinge in the wine, but he also made a promise.
Hi everyone, I'm inside today because it's a miserable day outside. I've been quiet for a couple of days to see how things have went. It's getting worse. It's unbelievable the situation we're in here. The 13th of January and we can't get any product to the EU market whatsoever. We've been made a fool of. The fishing industry.
You have been made a fool of, but you wanted it. You believed it and you wanted it. And this is one of my problems I have with the farmers. They wanted it to be true. They didn't care about anybody else. They just wanted it to be true. They were desperate for their Brexit. It don't matter if you believe the lies. They were lies, but it's down to you as an individual to understand your own market. It was so clear and so flippin' obvious to anyone with half a brain cell that it was going to shoot you in your feet and face. God knows what. Anyway, it was going to scupper you. And it was. But you still voted for it.
Industry been made a fool of by the Westminster government. I'm dismayed, I'm angry, my blood is boiling. There's boats tied up, there's families, fishing boats tied up. We can't get our product to the EU market because of red tape, extra paperwork. It's an absolute disgrace what we've had to go through. I've just watched Prime Minister's questions. Ian Blackford for Sky and Lochaber just asked and told the Prime Minister about a £40,000 loss of one of his constituents in Sky and Lochaber. A shellfish exporter that's lost thousands, tens of thousands of pounds, the same as us and the same as every exporter around Scotland. The Prime Minister of the UK dismissed Ian Blackford. He started rambling on about something else. Prime Minister and Michael Gove, I can assure you, if Scottish exporters can't get their product to market next week, we will be at the gates of Westminster and we'll be dumping our shellfish on your doorstep, rotten.
Oh, is that right? Really? Well, I would say to you, you didn't really achieve anything because you didn't do it. No, you drove down to Westminster, did the I don't know, the lap of fame or whatever it was, got a fine, and then you drove back home. You didn't dump the shellfish, the rotten shellfish. You didn't do it correctly. You didn't follow the principles that the French fishermen and would follow. Anyway, they would dump it quite happily. But no, that was gutless. I'm sorry, Mr. McCracken, whatever your name is. That was gutless. I feel for the fact that your business and your industry and what have you is suffering because of this, but you asked for it. You voted for this. They say the incompetent government, but that'll be funny. That was an incompetent vote. You were a kipper, like you were. You see, the plot thickens though in the UK, finally deciding to return to the favour to the EU exporters, including its own set of hoops to jump through. And British farmers are popping the old champagne they are, celebrating with their newfound advantage in the domestic market, where small European producers of delicacies are probably contemplating whether it's worth the hassle anymore. But that is an oxymoron. That don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. Of course it does. Open up the market to local produce. It makes perfect sense. But we have to import all the inputs into the country. We don't make the fertilisers anymore. We don't. You've got the seed. What have we got? Okay, seed potatoes we do, but in Scotland. But we don't have the inputs. We need the imports of these inputs in the farming sector, including chemicals and all sort of stuff. There's no good scuppering yourself like this. It's just madness. But that's Brexit for you, isn't it? Well, a moment of madness that seems to be persisting somewhat. Anyway, Labour's peeking over the fence, promising to undo some of the mess with a veterinary agreement that sounds like as likely and speedy as getting a dentist appointment. I would say, on a Sunday evening, maybe, or any time during the week, or actually in the middle of the night, any time. You're not likely to get one. Oh, hang on. Richie Sunak said, we're going to encourage more dentists to come into the United Kingdom and give them a bung. That's what we're going to do. Where the hell are the dentists going to? Well, have their practice. What are they going to do? What are they going to do in the village hall? Are they going to do it on the playing field? Are they going to do it in football ground? I don't know. You tell me. Leave it in the comments down below. Well, crikey. So meanwhile, the Department for Environment, Food and crikey and Rural Affairs, DEFRA, is probably drafting a response in time it takes to age of fine wine. They're not particularly bothered, to be honest. They don't care. We've got Richie Sunak at the moment going around frantically make little video clips for the farmers, saying we're doing this, we're doing that. Oh, we're doubling this, we're adding this, blah 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 blah. Yeah, the farmers. I speak to the farmers. They're the ones that know. They're the ones who realise that, hang on, I ain't making as much money. I can't balance the books. So there you have it. It's a saga, I suppose, of bureaucracy. Vets sign certificates and a side of economic self-sabotage. All because we wanted to take back control. We've literally just handed it away. We had an element of control. And now we just give it all away. Anyway, apparently control of making life unnecessarily difficult, it seems. For anyone trying to sell a bit of brie abroad. Would that be a brie? We don't make brie. Cheddar, maybe. Oh, anyway, cheers for that. What a complete and utter mess. Anyway, big old like button, will you help the channel, But you see, I do find it very frustrating. And I don't hate the farmers. I understand they got a tough job and they're grafters. I get that. The same with the fishermen. They're all grafters. They're hard-working folk. But you made a fundamental mistake. Trusting a Tory government for a start. And believing what these Brexiters were telling you. But you wanted it to be true. So it makes you complicit, you see. You didn't do due diligence. No. When anyone told you anything, you just tried to shoot them down in flames with a whole load of nonsense. Just like the anti-vaxxers do. You know who they are. Oh, crikey. Oh, look at this person who's just had an autopsy. Look at all these clots in their arteries. Look like spaghetti. Anyway. That's another story. I'll make a video on that one. Anyway, we're doing the rewilding here in France, where we're planting 1,000 trees on 2 hectares of land But also, hopefully, I've got the camera up there. Let's have a look. Be streaming live. Where is it? That's that one. Now, there's nothing in there yet, but there will be. I hope. So if we can, if we get some birds in that bird box, we'll be streaming that live on my rewilding channel as well. Yeah, see what the progress is. Probably little great tits, I imagine. That's what we usually get. So, yeah, we're doing a rewilding here. Basically, if you want to contribute that tree rent, if you want to contribute £20, I'll put a tree in the ground for you, and I'll make a sign to go with the tree, a memory of a loved one, or maybe a pet, or whatever. But also making bat boxes and bird boxes, etc. Doing about 60 odd bird boxes. I reckon about 20 bat roosts, and also making owl roosts and that as well. All sorts of stuff. You see, just animal habitats. If you want to be a part of that, there is a GoFundMe link down below. Just make a contribution, whatever you can afford, and we will make sure that you are, you're mentioned in the project in the sense of some sort of sign or whatever. Hall of Fame, if you like. Anyway. Your sports channel itself, you can do that on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the links are down below. And it is very much appreciated that it is. It really, really is. Because the channel would not exist without your support. It really wouldn't. It's really hard to have to earn some money. And the missus over there, she likes her luxuries, don't you, darling? That's obviously a joke. Anyway, it's time for us to go. So say toodaloo, so toodaloo. Blimey.